start with MJ, right? So, and we can both kind of explain this, but why did you choose? I mean, I know to me it's obvious why you would choose MJ, but for people who might not be as familiar with you as I am, why is MJ like the first person on your Mount Rushmore?
Well, I think one of the things is he's won 6 championships.
Right.
He was the MVP for all those championships.
6 for 6.
6 for 6. So. Okay. He's won 10 scoring titles. For those that try to say, well, what kind of scorer was he? He won 10 scoring titles.
Right.
And then, of course, he was the MVP of the regular season for five times.
Which could have probably been more.
Right.
More
and
times.
He was the Defensive Player of the Year the same year that he was the MVP. Okay? So with all those statistics, as well as the Olympic title, the Dream Team, when they won the Olympic medal, and when he was playing, everybody around this guy kind of bowed down to him.
Right.
They had to at a certain point because they just could not knock him off at a certain point. He had some battles early on in his career, but he was still considered the best even before he won the title.
Okay.
People looked at him as the best.
So what was that like that year, right? Because I know he came in '84. What was the year where you would say that around the whole league, across the whole league, it was pretty much a known thing that he was the guy?
Yeah, I think that year when he, I believe he was playing the Boston Celtics in preparation. Yeah. He was in the playoffs.
Okay.
And
he
scored 63 points. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the year that was, because that had to be.
And when he did that, and they showed that highlight of him dribbling through his legs and schooling Larry Bird. And I mean, even Larry Bird said, "Man, I had never seen nobody like that."
Right.
And that's the way he was looking moving forward. People looked at him as the best ever. It was just a matter of him getting the right teammates on his team, somebody that he could partner with to take it to the next level.
And coach at that point.
Yeah, coach too, because he didn't have the best coach in the game. He had Collins at that time.
Right.
And Collins was doing the best he can. Matter of fact, all Collins did was say, give the ball to Michael. You need somebody that's coaching to give better instructions than that.
True.
If you want to get to another level in the game, because after a while, you can't win with one guy. You have to play team ball, and that's what took place when he got to the next level in his game. Right. He was playing more team ball.
I mean, I selected MJ for basically some of those same reasons that you kind of pretty much just laid out the things that we know in terms of like from a statistical standpoint. So there's really no argument from that standpoint as to why he deserves to be on that list. But I think for me, one thing that I love about Mike too is outside of the statistics, this was a guy who everybody really wanted to be like Mike.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
That was that campaign that came out, and most people, whether you were in pro sports or whether you played basketball, played a different sport. Whether you were someone who was just on the playground, playing a game just for fun, a part of you wanted to be like this guy. So I think that I just think that what he meant for like our culture specifically, but then not just our culture, but what he meant to the world, right? When he would go overseas, like you said, during the days of that year or that summer of the Dream Team, just seeing, man, how these people couldn't get enough of Mike.
Right.
And obviously we know domestically, like in the States, people couldn't get enough of this guy. So I think that what he also meant to people just when he stepped off the court, right? And then in terms of being on the court, people wanted to be like this guy. And I think that he just brought a certain level of just flavor to the game and swag to the game. But then I also think what I really loved about him too was, and this is something that you made sure that you kind of taught me when I was kind of coming up playing as a young kid, is just his tenacity, right? I think that he had that killer instinct that a lot of people like Kobe Bryant, kind of developed from looking at Mike. Russell Westbrook, guys like that have developed from looking at a Michael Jordan. That type of killer instinct, man. Allen Iverson kind of developed that from watching a guy like Mike. I think the tenacity, the work ethic, the fact that he was one of those guys that would be the first one in the gym and the last one to leave the gym. And he would do whatever it took to get a win.
Always trying to go to the next level with his game,
man.
You know what I mean? And then, because he was a brand,
right?
This guy was a brand. I mean, he created the tennis shoes and
that's
Nike,
still a staple today.
his Air
2021,
Jordans, man. Everybody knows about the Air Jordans. Everybody buys them.
Right.
Other than me, I don't buy the Air
People
Jordans.
in line for them.
But people pay
I've been in lines for
a
'em.
top dollar for those tennis shoes, man. Even to this day,
Right.
he's got the highest selling tennis shoes
Yep.
in basketball. And this is years being out of the game with all these superstars coming along, and he's still number one.
Yeah, I think he's been out of the
in,
game since I
tennis
think
shoes.
2003 or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, it's just so for me, when I think about Michael Jordan, I think about the full package, right? So I'm thinking about things on the court, impact off the court. Now, not necessarily from like a social justice standpoint, even though I think he's doing more of that now.
Right,
And he's always done a lot of stuff in the community, even when he in his playing days.
Right.
Right. So for me, there's like for us, it's a no-brainer as to why he's on that list.